Okay, today we are playing a game on Watchpoint Gibraltar. The average SR of this game was 2,650, and we will be playing Zenyatta the entire way through. And our current team composition is Orisa, Roadhog, McCree, Junkrat, Moira, and Zenyatta. So, Junkrat's not very good at attacking Gibraltar because it's hard to throw grenades up onto high ground. Similarly, we're quite bad at controlling high ground in general because the other DPS is McCree. So, it's not really ideal for Gibraltar because the first two checkpoints are very, well, the third checkpoint has it as well, but the first and second checkpoint, controlling the high ground is quite important, and we are rather bad at that as far as teams go, so that's something to worry about a little bit, but it's alright. People are bad, so it probably evens out in the end. People have a tendency to walk into Junkrat bombs, so we're getting into a bit of a fight with Widowmaker. Did we know she was there? Kind of looked like we did. Well, maybe we probably keep creeping through the window earlier. Could go back and check. It's not the. It doesn't matter. We know Widowmaker's out there. We get into a bit of a scuffle with her over a period of time. Now it's very scary, of course, to fight Widowmaker as Zenyatta because we are easy to hit. Wisely, we stayed out of the way when we only had 150 hit points, or 130 hit points, because she would have actually been able to one-shot us right there, even if she hit us in the body. But it's alright. She's dead now. She was very fixated on us, and she missed just about every single shot. The only person who actually hit us was, Anna. Well, no, Widowmaker hit us when we came out of the gate, didn't she? It's just then she couldn't actually, like, poke her face out of the gate again without dying, so it ended up not mattering. So we've rolled over the first checkpoint on Gibraltar. This probably happens like 50% of the time, honestly. You get a couple kills right at the start, and then you just roll over the first checkpoint. It's alright, though, because Gibraltar is rather unique as far as maps go, where you can realistically win on defense at every single checkpoint, which is very unique, really, because think about it, right? Numbani, first checkpoint, third checkpoint. You don't win on the second checkpoint. King's Row, first checkpoint, third checkpoint. You don't win on the second checkpoint. Sometimes you do, but not really. Dorado, oh, Jesus, phone, calm down. Dorado, first checkpoint, third checkpoint. You can win on the streets in Gibraltar, or Dorado, but it's like the first checkpoint is like 70% of the wins on Dorado, honestly. Gibraltar, no, you can realistically win on defense at every single checkpoint. It's very unique. I actually think Gibraltar is one of the most well-balanced maps in the entire game. The other one is probably King's Row. King's Row, Hollywood, and Gibraltar, I think, are like the most well-balanced maps. Because, there's no obvious side advantage for any of the maps, really, which is quite unusual, isn't it? Because most maps are, have some kind of swing one way or the other. Well, even King's Row kinda does, because the attacker's spawn is so fucking close to the first checkpoint, it's quite hard to defend. But it's alright, because that evens out after that point. Anyway, so we're not here to talk about maps, we're here to talk about Zenyatta. We haven't really had to do very much yet, though, because things have been going pretty easy. So we've a lot of ultimates getting used in here. We've got Transcendence. Honestly, probably don't need to use it. Things are, like, going okay. We're sitting really far back, and Genji's using Dragon Blade. We're gonna use Transcendence, as you do. Unfortunately, doesn't stop Junkrat from getting one-shot by Scatter Arrow. Unfortunate. But things have been going pretty easy so far. Here comes the wolf. Ooh, very scary. Almost got us. We're in here with Moira, so it's alright. Roadhog dealt with Hanzo, so we don't have to worry about him. We haven't really had to do very much so far. We've been sitting really far back, playing Zenyatta, basically. We've had orbs on people. That's the important part of playing Zenyatta, making sure orbs are up. Try not to interrupt your reload, like, a bunch of times, like we did right there. Very common. Start reloading. Oh, fuck up. Just finish reloading. Just take the extra, like, 0.25 seconds and finish the reload, rather than interrupting it a bunch of times. So, now they've actually started getting some defense going, which is absolutely terrible news. How dare the enemy team actually start playing the video game. It's alright, because they're still quite bad. Now, we should move the orb over onto McCree during this period, because Roadhog is currently using Take a Breather, and now he's purple. So we should have put the Harmony Orb onto McCree, because he's actually wounded. Roadhog was healing himself, and then he was purple, so I wasn't really doing very much on him. Now Roadhog's gone too deep. to actually, like, help him at all. Like, he's too far. He shouldn't have done that. He really did just walk forward very confidently while the rest of the team was not actually here, and he's been punished for that, as he should be. Moira's got Coalescence, she's going to use that. Unfortunately, what's-her-face? Orisa did not survive. Here comes the ult. Nope, didn't get anybody. McCree had to squeeze in real tight for that one, didn't he? He's probably pretty surprised that one worked. My favorite is when you're at the payload, and D.Va throws the ult at the payload, and you crouch behind the payload, like, oh god, please, please, and you can still see, like, 2/3 of the mech exploding, but it's alright, line of sight is extremely fucked in this game, so it still works in the end. Or, my favorite is, as well, is, like, on Hollywood, D.Va throws it out into the street, and people start trying to hide between the wooden beams in the street. Doesn't usually work out super well, especially if you're a big boy like Roadhog is. So D.Va's just lost her mech. That's very unfortunate for her. So far, we've just basically been playing Zenyatta. It's alright. This game, we got a while to go in this video game yet, and it isn't just, like, completely roll over them for the entire game. There Zenyatta's currently using his ultimate, is very unfortunate. Oh no, now he's been nano boosted. We've got Transcendence, so we're not, like, overly concerned about it. And he just fucked it up big time. Like, what? Look at that fucking clown over there. Nano boosting, he just throws himself through the entire hangar. Moira's probably, not Moira, Anna's probably like, fucking hell. What a waste. And then he wastes his ultimate as well. Reinhardt players. Wow, that must have felt so bad to be that Anna. Holy shit. Oof. Oh, damn. That's her shown. It's just... He must have only been able to see, like, a quarter of her body, and she still got hooked. Very unfortunate for her. Roadhog is that way, though. So, yeah, like, there hasn't really been very much to say about what we've been doing so far, other than, the orb stuff earlier. Roadhog went in with his ultimate. What, hold on. One moment. I've got reasonings for doing this. Now, we put it on him, and then he went in there. Okay. Basically, I was like, why wasn't our Harmony Orb on Roadhog? He dies regardless, but I was basically like, why did we not have Harmony Orb on him when he was going in? But we had reason for it to be on McCree. So, and then he went way the fuck in. So now we're just going to go in with ultimates, as you do when you're playing Overwatch. And we win the checkpoint. And we didn't really have to do very much. That's the dream in Overwatch, though, when you don't actually have to do anything. Your team just wins the game for you. So when people try to shit-talk, like, oh, you got carried, I'm like, good. That means I shouldn't have won the game, but I did win the game anyway, so I still got 3 points. I don't care if I got carried. Fucker, I won. You lost. So, people out there, like, killing themselves right now, God only knows what Orisa was doing. Like, how did she end up over there? She must have gone through, like, the backside? She must have done. For some reason. So, right there, we should have moved the Harmony Orb off of Roadhog, because he's full health, he's using Take a Breather. McCree, like, you know, we get to go in hindsight, McCree took a bunch of damage and was bad, so he would have died regardless, but Roadhog's probably not going to need it at that point, because he's healing himself. McCree, however... Like, those boxes are not a very good place to stand, and indeed he did end up dying. He dies regardless, because he, like, rolled into another grenade while he had the Discord Orb on him, so he was fucked. Anna almost killed us. Anna can kill you surprisingly quickly. It's like the one thing Anna has going for her. We're sitting really far back. Now, at this point, we are starting to be too far back, because... we do actually want to be close enough where if something bad happens, we can actually get there with Transcendence. At this point, somebody comes around this corner with their ultimate, we have to actually, like, travel some distance to actually get there in time. So we want to move, like, a little bit further up at this point. Our team's pushing up the ramp so we can come and sit behind the boxes or behind the wall over here or the wall over there. Like, we want to be a little bit closer than this. because we won't actually be able to get there with Transcendence. Also, it's kind of hard for us to shoot anybody back here. Like, this is a very long line of sight, but we can't really see that well through here. And the people at the other end are so small, they are actually going to be rather hard to hit anyway. We can go closer than that. You do generally want to be really far away as Zenyatta, but you can take it too far and be too far away from your team. Basically, if using Transcendence is going to take you like a second to get there, you're probably too far away at that point. So here comes the tire. That's very scary. We're going to go back way the fuck up now, though, because we don't want to get killed by the tire. It's still coming.
Shoot it, Tracer.
Shoot it, Tracer. Tracer is an all-star tire killer, as we all know. So now it's a little scary to walk up because there are bombs coming around the corner. It's alright, we can just shoot at that shield for a little while until we get the opportunity to walk forward. Or when there's no bombs flying past us. Bomb is currently dead now, so we don't have to worry about it. Bunch of ultimates getting used. We use our ultimate. Why do we use our ultimate? It's not really necessary at that point. I mean, that's very unfortunate what's about to happen to us, by the way. It's not as sad as it could have been, but it does still go pretty sad. So, like, there's not really that much reason to use our ultimate right now, because it's not like we're canceling out any big ultimates right now. And nobody's actually hurt right now, either. It seems like we kind of just use it in response to, like, Nano Boost and Transcendence. This is the sad part. Oh, we lived! It didn't run out just in time, but then he just beats us to death, because he still pinned us against the wall, you know? Very sad times. Alright, Mercy's gonna res us. Yay. I find there is a tendency with Zenyatta players where, like, they see the other Zenyatta ult, and then they ult in response as well. But, like, there was no reason for us to actually use our ultimate right there. No one was low, and nobody was actually using any extremely threatening ultimates at the time. Someone got nano boosted, but, like, it was D.Va. Like, it's not the end of the world, you know? Like, it's not quite Nano Visor or Blade, you know, it's okay. And Reinhardt ends up using Earth Shatter, but, like, we could have been far enough away that we just wouldn't have been hit by it anyway, probably. Like, we didn't need to use Transcendence right there. There wasn't really much point for it. It ended up doing nothing much. It made us survive the pin, but then we got beat to death anyway. We didn't need to use it right there. So now we managed to capture the checkpoint. No problem. Don't worry. We're gonna get it. There we go. So we have managed to attack, and we had 40 seconds to spare at the end. Incredible. So now, as you can see, there's still quite a bit of video left, though. So they still get it pretty far. This is a really good Zenyatta skin. I love the faceplate arrangement. Now he does look like an NVIDIA graphics driver. I know. But I do like the face arrangement. It actually looks like the side of my computer. I'm not going to show you because then you'd see how filthy my room is, but he actually looks like the side of my computer. Because I have an Alienware computer, so it's got the green lines along the side, and then it's, like, rounded and black. So, I don't know, fascinating. I'm sure that's why you tuned in, to hear about what my computer looks like without actually getting to see it. So now we're going to be defending. Very sad things happen right at the start. There's nothing you can do about that one. And that's the kind of thing that's going to decide the tempo for the rest of the checkpoint, unless something disastrous happens for them. And, as you can see, they're still kind of coming through. Fucking Pharah's immediately like, nope, change into Reaper. Not that Reaper, like, beats Widowmaker or anything, so now we're just spending a lot of time, like, shuffling backwards, like, oh god, please get me out of here. Oh. Now, we should expect to see Widowmaker there. I don't know if we actually saw her through the window or not. Did we look through the window? Do we actually see her? She's kind of thin and wispy. well, we saw somebody moving right at the end. She wasn't actually standing there, but we did see somebody moving right at the end. Presumably Widowmaker, seeing as she ended up there. You don't want to have to end up getting into a fight with Widowmaker, so you're pretty screwed at that point. Unless you just come around the corner and, like, beam her immediately. You're gonna lose that fight most of the time. Widowmaker's definitely got the advantage over Zenyatta, so that's fucked. We definitely don't go over there and take part in that shit. We just go over here. And we do want to go upstairs, because high ground is pretty cool. But at the same time, you know, Widowmaker is scary. But Widowmaker's gonna be scary regardless. We do, like, want to be on the catwalk, ideally, because Zenyatta is a hero that benefits from high ground. Now we got Genji here, we got Widow here, it's alright. Mercy can res us from out of line of sight, and we're just gonna get the fuck out of there. Widowmaker's making it very difficult for us right now, and there's not very much we can do about that one. We can try and kill her. You know, Zenyatta is somebody that does have the possibility of killing Widowmaker. But it's not really the situation you want to find. You're like, Widowmaker and Genji are making it super hard. Really, the best thing you can probably do at this point is change off Zenyatta, because it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard to avoid Widowmaker and Genji. Because Widowmaker's going to make it so that you've got fewer places you can actually stand in, and then Genji's over there as well, also fucking with you. The best thing you could do at this point is probably just change to another support. Now, which support to change to? Probably Moira would be the best one on average, because you can just kind of fight it out with Genji. It doesn't matter that you have to, like, stay out of the way, because you can just fight Genji. It's no big deal for Moira, usually. Unless the Genji's a god, but that's a different issue. Then he's going to kill you regardless. Because, like, this happens, and, like, if you're playing Zenyatta, oh god, that's just, like, the scariest thing in the world. If you... Moira, you'll still have to stay out of the way, but, you can fight Genji. Ana... I guess, though Ana is not at all favored when it comes to fighting Widowmaker. You have the opportunity to try, and if Genji gets on you, it's no problem. You just throw the grenade at your feet, and that'll deal with that as well. Lucio is not going to be great, because, you gotta go out there and do stuff. So we got, unfortunately, we had Transcendence, but we got Earth Shattered. We definitely didn't have enough warning, did we? We had a little bit. We had a little bit of warning. We could have actually done it here. Because we haven't seen Genji use Dragon Blade all game. Like, he's definitely got it. And you see that? He's got it. Now, granted, you've got, like, literally 0.5 seconds to react to that. But you gotta be ready. When you're playing Zenyatta, you gotta be ready to hit that button at a moment's notice. We did have enough time that we could have actually reacted to it. And, you know, we haven't seen Genji use Dragon Blade the whole game. He's got it, and then you see him get nano boosted in front of you. I push the button right there. Don't even hesitate. Now, the fear would be that you push it, and he doesn't use his ultimate. If he sees that he got nano boosted, he's going to push his button as soon as possible. So you're going to end up just pushing your ults at the same time. It's very unlikely he reacts to you using Transcendence in time. So, it doesn't, as we can see, miraculously enough, didn't matter. It just didn't matter. Who would have known, right? Got Earth Shattered, and they came in with Nano Blade, but they just still didn't really manage to get any forward momentum going. So, now it's not actually as scary anymore, because Widowmaker's gonna have a harder time actually, like, getting in position, because it's actually quite scary to stand over in that area if you don't already have control as the attacking team. Now, we use Transcendence here, and, again, I'm trying to figure out why, really. Because D.Va uses her ultimate. I mean, there's a couple of low no, Roadhog's using Take a Breather, though, so he's not gonna die. Yeah, we don't need to use this one, either. Went back, like, why did we use it? There's not really any reason to use it there. D.Va's throwing her ult in, but, like, that's not what... We don't use our ult in response to that. So, there's no reason to use that. That's, like, the thing so far, is, Transcendence hasn't been very good. For the most part, we're playing like this. This is what you do when you're playing Zenyatta. You sit really far back and you put orbs on people. Worth noting, by the way, that in the kill feed, we've seen Reaper now. So Genji is now Reaper, which is less scary to us because Reaper has to actually get to us. So as long as we are paying attention, Reaper shouldn't kill us. We do have to be looking for him, of course, but Reaper is slower. He's a much slower hero than Genji. So on him being Reaper instead of Genji is better for us overall. Now, if he gets to us, we are super dead. Like, he's gonna kill you. Because Zenyatta's hitbox is literally a floating cube. Like, he is gonna kill you if he gets to you. But it's harder for him to get to us. Genji will get to you quicker. So I can't help but notice that the video quality has adjusted midway through the video, which is very upsetting, but the video's almost over, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. See, now, that would have been a better time to use Transcendence. We actually already have it back, almost have it back up again, but that would have been the time to use Transcendence right there. And we didn't have it. We've got it now, but at this point the fight's so bad that there's no point using it. A lot of people would have used it right there to try and save Roadhog. Wouldn't be worth it. Would not be worth it. So, now our team are, like, kind of starting to stagger out. Now Moira's using her ultimate, so we don't have to use our ultimates. No big deal. Sometimes you do still want to use Transcendence, even when Moira's using her ultimate. Basically, if you think Moira's going to die while she's using her ultimate, is why you would use Transcendence in that situation. Because you don't really want to layer them, but sometimes you'll end up layering them. So, I think you could have pushed your ultimate at quite a few times during this fight, and it would have been valid to do so. We decided to do it there, and that's fine. Oh, it feels bad, man. Sorry, he came with us. It was worth it. I'm so sad they didn't put that voice line in the game. A lot of people died on that edge today. He probably got play of the game, because he got 2 environmental kills. So, he probably got play of the game for that, actually. As I was saying, you could have used your ultimate probably at quite a few points during that fight, so that was probably the better point to do it, because most of your team was actually there, and it was when they were starting to actually stall out. Unfortunately, now we don't have it for this, but it's alright, he's coming for us, we can just, like, scuttle out of the way. And even though he did the Beyblade right there, he only didn't actually kill anybody with it, so that's pretty incredible. Now we're having a lot of trouble getting out the doorway. But it's okay, people are over there on the point still, so Reinhardt's not actually been doing that much over here to stop it, like, because people still over there stalling. And, starting to scuttle out, we're just staying in the doorway, because Jesus Christ, we don't want to go out there, no sir. Now we can go out here because we have our ultimate, yeah, we even took the pin right there. I don't think he was going to hit anybody anyway. Oh, Reinhardt. Oh, no. Oh, no. You shouldn't have done that, boy. You only got 1 fight left. You should have saved that for the next fight, because you lost that fight. So, yeah. Like, it's a pretty good Zenyatta game, honestly. Like, we're sitting really far back. A little too far back in some instances, but we're sitting really far back, putting orbs on people. So far, the biggest thing has been ultimates, where I don't feel like, I suppose we're 50-50 at this point. That's not great, is it, really? You know, 50% of the time when I use my ultimate, it does something. It's not a statistic I'd brag about. Just duck out here, get healed up really quickly. But like, we're playing Zenyatta. We're sitting really far back. We're putting orbs on people. You know, there's aim better as well, I suppose, but not very helpful. Got hung up on the slight little bump on the doorway right there. Honestly, she almost saved us with that boop, but whatever. We won the round. We won the game. No big deal. Easy. Their Widowmaker, like, stopped being very good at the 3rd checkpoint, because it's going to be a lot harder for her at that checkpoint, and our team suddenly changed to things that can actually contest Widowmaker as well, so it was a lot easier. Quite surprised Reinhardt didn't get play of the game. This is a very skillful Hanzo play of the game. We just see him, like, fucking machine gunning arrows out. Like, one of them's gonna hit! And still... Oh, no, he was also playing Hanzo. I was like, damn, Widowmaker got hero damage? Well, that's the dude that was also playing Hanzo, so it's not as surprising. So, yeah, it was a good Zenyatta game, honestly. Like, we sat really far back. The biggest thing was Transcendence, where we didn't need to use it in a few situations, and that did end up coming back to bite us a couple times as well. Some Harmony Orb stuff, but, like, honestly, it was pretty good. And there was, like, mechanical stuff as well, you know, aim better, whatever. It was a good Zenyatta game. Basically, it was just, Ultimate that, was the biggest thing that stood out. Better than the average Platinum Zenyatta player. I'm just thinking about it, like, you should be higher than this. You should be higher than, like, 2600 SR. Like, you should be close to Diamond, if not in Diamond, based off this. Like, this is a sample size of one game, so, you know. But based off this game, you should probably be closer to Diamond than this, because we actually stood in, like, the correct place for the most part, which is astonishing for Zenyatta. Most Zenyatta players stand way, way, way too close. And I suppose the other thing is, like, when we were getting really bullied around by... Yeah, well, the other thing is when we were getting really bullied around by Genji and Widowmaker, we should have honestly changed to a different support, because that particular combination is going to make it very difficult for us to survive as Zenyatta. Once we get to the third checkpoint, it's not such a big deal, because Widowmaker is much less scary by that point, because she can't just stand on the high ground freely, because she can actually get contested there, unless they are already gaining momentum anyway. So, but prior to that, changing off Zenyatta would have probably been advisable to either Moira or Ana. Would have been better, because Zenyatta is just gonna get huddled into a corner by Widowmaker, and then Genji's gonna kill you. So, you need to be able to survive the Genji, basically. Because no support is actually good against Widowmaker. You know, Zenyatta is, like, the best one, but you're also being herded into Genji's fuck zone. So you need to be able to survive in Genji's fuck zone, basically. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. Join our Discord server if you want to ask questions more directly, and have fun time shitposting with us. And I hope you found the video helpful.